This is a real question. Which stove would you pack? I'm getting the last details together for a trip that I'm going to be doing next week. It's going to be 4 days long. Temperatures right now are absolutely frigid. Pretty sure it's -30 and going to go down to -40 tonight. Hopefully next week it's going to warm up a little bit. Thursday, which is the day we leave and get started, is going to be cool, maybe below -20, and then might warm up gradually over the next 3 days, covering quite a bit of ground on skis, in the backcountry, deep snow, carrying everything on our back. No matter which stove I pick, same cook system, so it's just gonna be a big 2-liter titanium pot from MSR. This is my favorite winter pot, and regardless of the stove, windscreen and cooking base, so just a foam mat with some aluminum tape on it. I'm gonna be trying that out just to stop it from sinking into the snow. So one way or the other, that part of the system is the same. Decided that I need 24 ounces of fuel. So the option here is to bring a large can, a 16-ounce can, and an 8-ounce can. So that's my 24 ounces of fuel. So that would be my WinPro system. Same thing for the Whisperlite, which is 24 ounces of fuel in one big bottle. So this bottle is full. I've overfilled it just a little bit, but it's right around the line, and I've got exactly 24 ounces by weight of fuel in here. So this is the two systems. Obviously, with the Whisperlite, you need the pump. I just go with the pump in the fuel bottle. So right now I have a cap on it, but those go together. WinPro weight is 7.2 ounces. Whisperlite 8.7, so a little bit heavier, a little bit more robust. But then you have to add in 2.2 ounces for the pump. Then if we look at the whole system, so Whisperlite, obviously a little bit heavier. It has that sort of more beefy generator tube. It's a bigger stove. It's a little bit more robust stove. But overall, I think in terms of durability and my needs, they're both fine. Then if you look at the fuel bottles, so an empty container of the 8-ounce fuel weighs 5.3 ounces. So if I packed 3 of these bottles, it would come out to 16 ounces just of the cans, and total weight with fuel 40 ounces. Now you get a little bit of a weight saving if you bring a bigger can. So these two together for my 24 ounces of fuel come out to 37 ounces total with the cans for a starting weight. Compared to the large bottle from MSR, which comes out to 7 ounces empty with the 24 ounces of fuel, that is 31 ounces all together, fuel and bottle. Then windscreen and the base, 2.8 ounces. For either system, that's the same. The cook pot is 7.2 ounces. So total weights for either system, starting weight using the large can, 54 ounces for the WinPro. If I go through all the fuel, the leftover weight's gonna be, or sort of carried packed weight is gonna be 30 ounces on the dot, 30.2. And then if you looked at liquid fuel, starting weight, 52 ounces. And if I go through all the fuel, the carried weight is 28 ounces. So realistically, weight for this trip is nearly identical. We're talking a 2-ounce difference. So it comes down to which would you pick based solely on convenience, performance, preference, basically. So that's where you have it. And you know, another little factor in there is that I'm not going to be alone on this trip, so I'm going out with 2 other people. I'll leave that in the air for now. Should be a great trip, but you know, I would like to match basically the fuel type and stove, not necessarily stove model, but fuel type with the 2 other people. So there's a little bit of a, you know, at the end of the day, if one person has a huge preference, we'll probably go that way. But I would like to match fuels so that if you come into a problem with your stove, or one of us has a problem with their stove, at least we have all the fuel necessary for all of us. We are going to be packing 3 stoves, I believe, so there's quite a bit of redundancy. You know, if you fall on your stove and it breaks or something like that, at least we'll have the fuel that can match onto the other person's system. But super curious what you guys think. Which stove would you pick if this were up to you? Remember, 3 nights, 4 days, a short day, a long day, a long day, a short day. Starting out quite cold, it looking like -20s or below for the first night, hopefully working up to probably around -10 or above -10 for the last 2 days. That's sort of fingers crossed, but you never know. We're in a polar vortex right now, so it could stay cold. Sometimes that cold weather kind of sets in, and this is just based on very long-term weather forecasts. So, love to hear what your opinion is. I tend to lean towards liquid fuel just because of its performance. It always works well. Flip side is that this is just so easy. The stove has been working really well for me this year. I've taken it down to -20, had no issues with performance. Also, would you bring a large can like this, or would you divide it up into 3 8-ounce cans? So put which one you think would be your preference in the comments, and we'll discuss it there. I'll see you next time.